Welcome to Fatherhood Conversations with Dr. Israel Bamidele Olaore. And I'm so happy that you've stayed with us on this journey so far. Because when we started, we established the fact that fatherhood is a gift that God has given to humanity as the bearers of the seed, and responsibility for the seed is placed on fathers. That is, fathers are the ones called to be responsible for the seed that God gave to the world through them. Unfortunately, many fathers dropped the ball, either because they didn't have a father to teach them how, or they just didn't want to do it. So I just want to take the first part. Maybe they didn't have a mentor to teach them how to be a father. That's why we're having these fatherhood conversations. And we transition to talk about the fact that Nehemiah challenges fathers to fight for their families, to fight for their wives, fight for their sons and daughters. And we have looked at the fact that the fight is usually not a fist fight or karate fight, but a fight of intentionality, a fight of emotional engagement, a fight of emotional presence. And we looked at F in the spelling of fight, where we said, first and foremost, a father puts his family as priority. His wife, his children are his priority. Not his job, not his career. That may sound like, are you serious? No, because when the career is over, it's the family that you have to back you up and to be there for you. Some fathers sacrifice their children at the altar of their career. They are successful MDs, successful professionals, wherever the field they chose, but they didn't have time with their children or their wife because they were always gone. So we said F is for first and foremost, to place the family first, family first. And then we said I is for interest, the father to show interest in the things that are important to the children. In talking about interest, we were talking, behind the scenes. And one of the things that came up is that some fathers, want their children to do what they want because it is for the father's benefit. The father is looking for an insurance policy when he's grown older. Don't choose what you like, choose what I want so that you can be wealthy to take care of me. Unfortunately, that formula doesn't work because you have alienated the child because of the kind of decisions you made on behalf of the child. The child did something you wanted them to do. They hated it, but they did it for you. Now they hate you because it brings back memories of the things you did. So it's counterproductive when fathers do that insist that a child takes a course of study in college or university because of what the father likes. Or sometimes the fathers will say, I want you to do this because, not just because it will make me look good like the father of a doctor, the father of an engineer, but because you will make more money, and it will bring you more money. Not necessarily for me, but it will make you more money. But some people are not interested in the money. They're interested in the satisfaction, the sense of purpose, the sense of fulfillment that they get from pursuing their passion and pursuing their sense of purpose in the world. So that said, for interest, we looked at G for groaning in prayer and intercession. Now we want to take a look at H. H, ironically, will be for help. Yes, help. Fathers as helpers in the family. Yeah, a lot of fathers feel entitled that everybody should cater to them, whereas fathers are called to be servant leaders to show by example how to serve. So I will usually say that Fathers are the ones who are there when the family needs someone to hold them up. Wives need their husbands. Children need their father. I remember one time when our first son was going to college for the first time. He was young, he was 16. He was going to college, and I drove his car for him. I drove from Tucson, Arizona, all the way to Huntsville, Alabama, 22 hours of driving. But that was my own contribution to his success, giving him a car, so that he would know that we want him to have some ease and not just struggle. There are other ways in which fathers can help their children. It's been said that fathers who are involved in homework help have a better relationship with their children, and their children do better in school. Because fathers will say, my wife is there, or the house help is there, or the tutor is there. But when a father makes out time to support the children in their learning, the children learn better, because the father is their encourager, it becomes their mentor to be able to achieve. So I would say to fathers, this H factor is one that we do not want to take for granted, because we think it's beneath us, but fathers, it is like God when you help your family members. Did you note, for those who are Christians, that Jesus was the one who washed the feet of his disciples? And the disciples were hustling like, oh, don't do that. Don't wash my feet because you are our master. He said, no, if I don't wash your feet, you have no part with me. And that is an example that everyone who is a father can look up to and follow. Jesus was willing to do something for his disciples, which they could have done for themselves, but he decided he was going to do it for them. So how are you as a father showing up to serve in your family? I remember once, when my children were 10, my oldest sons, the first one was 10, the second one was 8, and then the third was 6. And I was washing dishes in the kitchen, and I was so resentful. I said, how come I'm washing dishes? They hold me washing dishes. And God just whispered in my ears. I always know the voice of God. He said, are you too big to serve your family? And that really shook me. I said, God, I'm not too big to serve my family. I'm even happy that I have a family. So what are you doing in the H factor in your family? Are you there as someone that everybody is catering to? Or are you there to be supportive and to help move things around in the family? Helping your family, helping your children, helping your wife is not beneath you as a father. And I sometimes tell men, you're not helping your wife, you are supporting your wife in those things that should make the family move forward. So, here again, just to let you know that the fight is on, and you are invited to play your part in that fight. Until next time when we come back to you, this is Dr. Israel Bamidele Olaore saying to you, fight for your family.